This will be our last session of e-business management. With this session, we will be able to complete all our discussion forums, and your syllabus we have already completed. So if you have any set of doubts, please ask me.
No, ma'am, from my side.
Okay. Okay. So let's continue with the revision. Like whatever we can cover, I will cover here in this session. So let's start with the integration and e-business suits ERP. So see, whenever we want to manage our e-commerce activities, it is really very much challenging for every business, whether it is retail marketers, whether it is B2B sales platform, and rapidly because a lot of multi-channel marketplaces are coming up, and this is really bringing a lot of challenges for any company. So a significant challenge here is to improve the customer satisfaction in the face of greater expectations. As nowadays we have seen the customers, they are expecting a lot because of so many marketplaces are available. The expectations of customers have also increased. Like the best marketplace, e-marketplace is Amazon. They are making the products available within a day's period of time, within 2 days period of time. So now the expectations of customers have increased because of this kind of e-marketplaces. So this is really a very challenging front for a particular business, because if they want to deal with these expectations, they need to be very careful about their supplies, about their products, because customers always they want increasingly complex services, simplified. They don't want like the complex services. They always want the services needs to be simplified for them. Like if they want to order the process, order the product, it should be very simple. The features such as content marketing, customers display and dashboards, and store within the store specialized product catalogs, everything needs to be very simple. They don't want it to be very complex. The brunt of empowering customer facing features falls on any company's back office software, and many e commerce operators now rely on Oracle e-business suites ERP softwares. So nowadays, if you see, most of the companies are shifted to Oracle, this ERP softwares for their business processes. This intuitive back office system offer all kind of conveniences and benefits for managing in-house administrative tasks and empowering customers with extraordinary applications. So this will definitely help the people, and this will definitely offer them all kind of conveniences and the benefits, because it will be very easy for them to deal with various administrative tasks, and this will empower the customers. Because of this extraordinary application, customers will also get certain set of powers. They can now track their products. They can also compare the prices. It is very much easy for them nowadays. So here, like when we can integrate our ERP suite, to what we can integrate. So whenever we talk about this ERP suites, we can integrate this ERP suites to various areas. Like these areas would include the orders, the pricing, the inventory reports, financial data, customer data. All this will be available, right? So here, like what happens if we want to talk about this ERP suites, you can integrate it to your pricing. So here, with the help of this source, you can find out the codes, the product configuration, the product availability, like what kind of features the product has, what are you quoting, where uh, this the codes, like how much you are charging for it, your product availability, whether the product is available or not. Everything will get integrated, associated, and connected with a particular system. So everything will be available at a single place. And you will be able to find out the inventory also, that real-time inventory. Like sometimes the business faces this major problem because of these issues. They will not be able to track their real-time inventory. Like suppose if I have ordered something and if I see that I have paid for it, but sometimes because they don't have real-time inventory management systems, and it really becomes difficult for them also to find out, and for them also to understand that whether the product which the customer has ordered is available or not. So real-time inventory is really very important because it will help us and it will give us understanding about what type of inventory is available, what products are available with us. Smart inventory, we need to be very smart because you know what happens in inventory also we need to bear huge cost of managing it because the storing inventory will always require a lot of cost. Then demand management, you need to be very careful about the demand. It should not happen that sometimes you have demand but you are not able to fulfill that demand, so this management needs to be very appropriate. Then customers demand, so you need to understand the demand of the customers, like what they are asking, at what time they are asking, what is the time when you have most of the demand of the products or when you have the highest sale. All this you need to understand. Then customer data for every business is really very important. The data of the customers, the contact information, their purchase history, shipping and mailing address, all needs to be very important. Like if you go on several applications, you will find this purchase history, what you have ordered, when you have ordered, and sometimes you have cancelled your order. You will get that history also that you have ordered this, but you have cancelled it. So all this is possible, like your shipping and billing address, it gets stored in the data base of the software. So you are not again required to put your shipping and billing address. Just it gets stored whenever you are ordering. Just click and you will be able to do it. Then your financial data. So your accounts people, your credit limit, checks, then your financial reports, everything will be available at a single place. So you will be able to find out that how much credit limit is there available will be. Then your financial reports that what as a business what you are doing, whether you are earning money, whether you are in losses, whether you are into profits, all this you will be able to understand. Then orders. So one molecule code, just on click you will get the codes like how much the business is expecting for a particular product. Second is item suggestions. So whenever you are going to order something, you need to have such a system which will give suggestions to people. Then these items are also available. You can order these items also. Like yesterday I was ordering something and before I went for the final order, I was searching for more things, right? So what happened that it has shown me that these are the suggestions. You can also go and you can check this things also if you want to order. So they will keep a track of what you are trying to order and they will find it out that this is your preference, so they will give you suggestions for the same also. Then warranty claims management. So there also you need to understand that whether they are getting any warranty, what kind of warranty is available and how you can claim this warranty. And the last here is track delivery. So it is really very important. Whenever you have ordered for something, it is really very important to check whether the items are available for the delivery or not. And comes the reports. So customizable dashboards, right? So customizable dashboards are available. Pre-built templates are there. Real-time metrics are available. So like whatever dashboard, whatever report you want to see, you will be able to see with the help of this ERP suite because here you have integrated your business processes with it. Here pre-built templates are available. You can use them. Real-time metrics is available. Multi-channel output is available. Like not only from one page, but you can check the output or you can generate reports from various angles of the business. Like you can check the customer data also, you can generate the report related with your inventory also, your prices, your financial data, your orders. Everything will be available at a single place. That is why we are saying that multi-channel output. So the output will get generated from different channels. Whatever you want, you can choose the report. Then we discussed about the SCM, that is supply chain management. So this is the application which is based on open internet application architecture, and this provides the enterprise-wide scalability and rapid deployment to numerous end users. So this ESCM will help you to find out the real-time pricing and the return on investment, right? So here, because of the ESCM suite of application, which is based on the open internet, you will be able to find out the real-time processing of your data. So ESCM, this will create an open and integrated system, and this system will address the complex e-business and supply chain management needs and the requirements, and this will allow the exchange of real-time information to take place with the employees and their trading partners, like their customers, their suppliers, distributors, and manufacturers. This completely will be regarding their products, like product configuration, order status, pricing, and inventory availability. So such functions will improve the order accuracy and provide 100% order fulfillment through accurate inventory information. So this real-time data will enable users to make informed ordering, purchasing, and inventory decisions, and thereby this will enhance the quality and scope of customer service also. Then you will also be able to find out return on your investments with the help of ESCM. So this is ESCM in addition to the uh, increasing productivity, this will also help you in reducing the operating expenses, because ESCM will maximize the selling opportunities by capturing the valuable customers. So this will help you to find out who are the customers who are very much valuable to you. So if you will find out the valuable customer information, like their buying patterns, their frequency of visit, their preferences, their order history, and you can use this information for upselling and cross-selling also, and promotional opportunities. So ESCM will provide tools which will help you to achieve the new businesses by reaching out to customers that you have never reached before. So this is possible because of the ESCM, right? So now let's talk about these certain components. But before we go ahead with components, I just want to tell you about certain benefits that we have because of ESCM. So like when we talk about ESCM, that is this electronic easy supply chain management or electronic supply chain management. So it is a web-based technology, right? Like client and server based. It incorporates the broadcast and active messaging. So this proactively notify an individual of a condition that requires attention. So you will be able to find it out that here in our supply chain, we can face this kind of problem. So this will help you to understand that well. It will notify about it. It supports the exchange of real-time information through trading communities, such as your employees, your customers, your suppliers, your distributors, and your manufacturers. So once you will get the real-time understanding about your data, you will be able to have the right information, and you will be able to serve your customers well, your distributors well, your suppliers well, your manufacturers well, and your employees also will have the happy times in the organizations, because you will understand what you are doing and what is happening in the organization. Then again, it has an interface capacity with the third party software also. It is an independent platform. It is a fully integrated system, and it is like this kind of ESCM also have web visibility and processing capabilities. Now let's discuss few components of ESCM. So when we talk about the ESCM, this has certain set of components like advanced scheduling and manufacturing planning programs. So this automated programs provides the detailed coordination of all of your manufacturing and supply efforts based on the individual customer orders. So scheduling is also based on your real-time analysis of changing constraint through the process, from equipment malfunctioning to supply interruptions. So your scheduling will definitely create the job schedules for managing the manufacturing process as well as the logistics. So if you have the awareness about your scheduling, the job will definitely uh, happens efficiently. Then we have demand forecasting program. So this module again supports a range of statistical tools and business forecasting techniques. So it constantly takes into account the changing market scenario and economic factors while making the decisions in the organization. And third component here is transportation logistic programs. So this programs definitely facilitates the allocation of resources, the not only the allocation but also the executions, and this will ensure that the materials and the finished goods are delivered at right time and at right place according to the planning of each mode, such as airlines, trains, and the trucks. Then we have distribution planning programs. So this is integrated with demand forecasting, manufacturing schedules, and transportation logistics to reach the customers. Then at last we have the order commitment. So order commitment is also linked to all other modules so that the accurately delivery of the goods and services can be guaranteed here. So customer relationship management is also possible with the help of this. And this, if you will be able to make the proper commitment here, then definitely your customers will be happy and you will be able to manage them well. Then CRM, that is ECRM, that is e-customer relationship management. And this is also very important to the companies because if following circumstances are there, the ECRM is really very important and valuable for an organization. The first circumstance is business is driven by mission critical customer service requirements. So if your business is such where your mission is to provide the important services to your customers, then e-customer relationship is very important. Then current cost for CRM runs high. But sometimes if you feel that the way you are managing and relationship with your customers, the cost you are incurring on that is really very high, then you need to shift to certain e-software, which will help you to maintain the better relationship with your customers. Large volumes of information is distributed. So if suppose large volume of information needs to be distributed, you go ahead with this eCRM system. And at last, a complete customer care solution is needed. So when you need the complete solution for dealing with your customers, then it is very important that you have this eCRM system in the place. Now let's talk about certain strategies for eCRM. So when we talk about these strategies, it goes into three stages and the three phases. First is customer information environment. So this is the first stage where we talk about the customer information environment. So in this first stage, building up the customer's information environment and then acting on it forms the starting point. So it consists of the matrix programs, the customer's information's repository, and monitoring the customer's behavior. Then second here is customer value orientation. So when we talk about the customer value orientation, this is the second stage. Here our focus will be on the operational efficiency because customers want the value for their money. Whatever money they are spending, the customers want value for it. They believe that they have got the value when the perceived benefits which they receive from something exceeds the cost of owning it. Suppose if I purchased something and I spent 100 rupees for it, so I should feel that the 100 rupees is worth spending because I'm getting more value, more than the value of rupees 100 here. So these components are very important for a company to deal with. Then we have the third stage, that is the customer's loyalty. So in this stage, the focus is on integration of internal process. Like here, internal processes of the organization with customers in creating a community. So if you want to create a community, it is really very important that you focus on the customers, and the customer loyalty is really very important for a business to bring the success. So mostly, like if we move to the costly customer services to the internet, So then it really becomes difficult. So here, like internet is very much critical to stay competitive, because nowadays, if you see, every company is using the internet as their strategy, and they are becoming very competitive. Like whenever the people come in the Shark Tank for the investment, also they ask them that what is your social media, or what is your the technological presence. So some people say that we have presence on Instagram, we have so many followers. So they really get impressed, because internet is really very crucial for a particular business to stay competitive. So this will provide the customer service on the internet, and it means a lot more than just having a website. So with the users demand more services via the internet is really very important. Leading companies have realized the importance of their e-service strategies on the web. So most companies are focused on today's most critical business challenges, like the challenges attracting and retaining customers. So this companies requires the customers directed e-business solutions and e-CRM to meet those requirements. So companies benefits from huge cost saving and increased revenue. Customers benefit from on-demand access to information, less hassle with better support, and less expensive services. So the strategy of the company to become available on the internet is really very important. The strategy of portals is also becoming very important in the global supermarkets, because this provide everything to individuals, families, and to the organization. Also, the customer base is what stock market considers to be the most important asset of a company. So if you want to have the customer database, it is really very important that you need to have the presence on the web. And this will definitely create the customer loyalty. Then we have e-payment system. E-payment system, all of us know. You want me to talk about it, or should I skip this?
Yes, ma'am, we know that.
Yeah. So we will skip it here. Then comes the procurement. It is very important. Like procurement is all about the activities which will be about how you obtain a particular item from a supplier. So this will include purchasing, inbound logistics, transportations, goods in warehousing before the item is used. When we talk about procurement, nowadays the gone are the days when people were using the physical method to go to check the product, to check the transportation. Nowadays, every company is shifted to e-procurement system. That is, they have integrated their procurement activities with the ERP, or you can say electronic mode. So this has also been linked to the e-suits. So nowadays, if you see the activities like purchase request, authorization, ordering, delivery, and payment is possible with the help of this e-procurement system. It is an electronic system which will help you to automate all the part of your procurement function by enabling the scanning, storage, retrieval of invoices. So you will be able to scan, like we must have seen in DMart or any supermarket, they scan so that they will be able to find out like how and which kind of products have been selling more. The codes will help you to keep the track of your inventories. This will also help you in understanding the storage capacity, that how much we need to store, and where to store everything, right? So you will be able to retrieve the invoices. You will also be able to see other documents. So you will be able to manage your approvals, your routine authorization request, interface to financial system, and matching of documents to valid transactions. So to validate transactions, so you will be able to match the documents with the transactions which you are doing in the organization. So your key procurement activities are there within an organization. I'm sure that you must be aware about it, like how it happens. The originator is there, then he will send the requisitions, approver approves, then the buyer will pay for it, he will get the purchase copy, the accountant will send the get the purchase copy, then the payment to the customers will make the payment, and it will read to the warehouse, like So this is the process which happens for the procurement. Then let's talk about the e-procurement process, like what are the benefits that we get with the help of the e-procurement process, or how this process works. So e-procurement process is highly similar to the manual procurement process, but it moves much faster. First is user needs products or services. So the purchasing process starts with understanding that what users are wanting or what users are finding, or so here you need to anticipate a material or service that your user needs. They use the electronic documents such as your purchase requisitions, stop checks, routine reordering systems, forecast, and customer orders to determine the needs. Sometimes the material requirements identified during new product development also facilitates the purchase needs. Then you have purchase approvals and the supplier evaluations. So depending on the size and the nature of the purchase, there may be various steps at this stage. In the purchase is new, a supplier evaluation occur to determine which supplier is the best option for the company. So if this is a product or service that has been purchased before, the suppliers may already be determined, and about the department heads, like, and other individuals may also need to be approve the purchases before sending a purchase order to the vendor. So in case of the small purchases such as office supplies, e-procurement system often allows purchase requisition with small quantities to purchase item without approval from other person in the company. In case where the amount that you are going to spend is more, then you need to have the user's permission to generate the purchase order. So if the purchase requisition request is done, then yes, you can make the purchases here also. Then once the purchase is got approved, then bidding, negotiation, and supplier selection happens. So these steps will only take place for the purchases that do not have an existing supplier, right? Suppose if we have existing supplier, then what is the need of this process? So we need to go ahead with this process only when we don't have existing suppliers, or when an existing supplier is no longer be able to meet our needs. So here the final supplier selection occurs once the procurement department has completed the required activities during the evaluation process. So choosing the supplier is one of the essential activities, because errors made in this particular phase can create the significant damage to the bottom line, and it will take a lot of time to rectify. So after the bids have been received and negotiation have occurred, the procurement team will select the suppliers and moves on to authorize the purchase through the purchase approval process, which is automated with e-procurement system. Then we have purchase approvals. So once the supplier has been selected or a requisition is received, purchasing grants purchase approval by creating an electronic purchase order. So here, like, this purchase approval will allow users to create the purchase requisitions that automatically goes through a approval process based on the approval rules which are created during the setup. So once the purchase requisition is approved, it automatically converts to the purchase order, and it will definitely saves the time and effort for us. So purchase order details, all of the, like, it will have all the critical and the important information about the purchase, including the quality, quantity, items, requirements, price, delivery methods, delivery date, purchase order number, order due date, and the shipping address also. Once it is done, purchase approval is done, we will move ahead with the release and receive the purchase requirement. So in this phase of purchasing cycle, the purchase requirements are physically transmitted. So some organizations, they opt to submit orders electronically. What other see material releases by mail or by fax. So using the electronic data interchange, it can help us to shorten the order cycle time and this shipping and receiving process requires several other relevant documents which can also be made electronically, such as the bill of landing, the material packing slip, and the receiving report. All you can generate with the help of electronic way. Then continuously monitoring suppliers' performance. So here it is really very important that once you are done with the process, you need to monitor the performance, because you should never assume that because you have found the best suppliers for a particular product last year, that will always be the best possible supplier for you. It may happen that in market the best possible suppliers will also be available. So it is really very important that you make it sure that you are consistently working with the best suppliers to keep a track of their performance after awarding them a contract. If you find that they are consistently late with their deliveries or short of their quantities and have other issues, then obviously they are affecting your ability to conduct the business with your customers. So it's essential to invest in continuous measurement to identify the improvement opportunities or gets when suppliers are not holding their end of the bargaining. So if you do not have a formal evaluation in the place, you have little insight into the supplier's performance over time. So if you don't have the evaluation system, you don't have the data necessary to support future purchasing decision. So this is really very important that you keep a track of how your suppliers are working and helping you. Am I going too fast? Or is it okay? The speed is okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, because I want to cover as much as I can cover in this session. So that's why I'm a little bit fast, maybe. Now, what are the benefits that we have from e-procurement? Just give me a second. So, a lot of benefits are there that if we have e-procurement system, it will create the information transparency. So, e-procurement system will make the information transparency, because here the information and data will be more transparent to company and its suppliers. You can use this information to view the purchasing behavior, leveraging buyers power control, non-compliant spending, and identify the opportunities with the help of which you can consolidate suppliers. Then e-procurement system will help the companies to save money. So e-procurement can help the company to save money. Now you must be wondering like how companies can save substantial amount of money because of e-procurement, because it eliminates the costly errors that may occur when you are handling this process manually. Because if you are handling the process through paperwork or manually, then it definitely brings certain set of errors, because whenever human beings are involved, somewhere errors may happen. The company can use the money they save for the other initiatives like marketing and advertising also. This automates the procurement process. So by automating your current procurement process, you will be able to sustain more consistent and cost-effective operations. So there is a diverse range of procurement softwares that you can use so that it will help you to achieve their goals, helping lower their need to perform monotonous activities like data entry and analytics. This will also shorten the procurement and purchase cycle. Then this will improve the inventory management control, because everything will be available to us, what is coming, what is going, so we'll be able to manage inventory. This will streamline the operations. So this e-procurement system will save a lot of time and cost. This will definitely streamline the processes, because here it will be very easy for you to identify the problems and resolve the problems before they escalate. So this will definitely streamline the operations, then larger products and service selection, because if it is available at a large scale, you can have access to data suppliers from anywhere, any place. So this definitely have the large products and service selection is possible with the help of the procurement system. Then there are certain methods of e-procurement system. The first method here is open tendering. So when we talk about open tendering, it is a shorthand for competitive bidding. It allows companies to bid on goods in an open competition or open manner. Open tendering requires or the requirements call for the company to advertise locally, have unbiased and coherent technical specification, have objective evaluation measures, be open to all qualified bidders, be granted to list cost providers so that people will be able to understand that what contracts you are negotiating with. So open tendering method of procurement encourages the effective competitions to obtain the goods with an emphasis on the value for money. However, considering this is a procedure-based method, a lot of procurement experts feel that this method is not very suitable for large complex acquisitions due to the intense focus on the output process instead of a stringent obedience to these standards. Then we have restricted tendering. Unlike open tendering, restricted tendering only place a limit on amount of the request for tenders that can be sent by the suppliers or the service provider. So because of this selective process, the restricted tendering is also sometimes referred to as selective tendering. Like open tendering, restricted tendering is considered as a competitive procurement method. However, the competition is limited to agencies. They are which are invited by the procuring team. So the name itself is a distinct restricted tendering. It means it is not open to public, but only to few uh, companies which has been or agencies which has been invited by the procurement team. So the procuring entity should establish a set of guidelines so that it will be easy for them to select the best suppliers and the service provider. Then request for proposal. So again, it is used all across the business world. RPFs, request for proposal. Social media managers receive requests for proposal forms from the potential clients all the times when the client is seeking a new manager of their ventures. So this kind of proposals is very compelling, right? Because this will help you to find out the best fit for your project or for your company. So these proposals will also help you to find out like who will be the best suppliers in your particular area. Then comes the two-stage tendering. So there are two procedures that are used under this two-stage tendering. Each one of the procedure has a two-stage process. So this can be like sometimes disadvantageous for certain procurement team. So if there is a time limit on securing a contract, so this option is more flexible for both the parties, allowing more room for discussion to meet the mutual needs. The first procedure is very similar to the RPFs that we have just discussed now. So here the procurement team receives the proposal with two envelopes, right? One with the proposal itself and one with the associated financial information. The difference here is the bidder is required to submit the technical proposal that highlights their solution to fulfilling the requirements as specified by the procuring department. So the proposal is scored according to the relevance of the solutions to the needs of the procurer. The highest scored proposal is invited for further discussion, and this is like with an attempt that they will be able to reach to an agreement. So after the final agreement for the technical proposal is reached, the bidder is invited to submit their financial proposal, and then the further discussion ensures that negotiation happens or this negotiation will lead to a contract. The second procedure is much like above that we have just discussed. However, instead of the bidder submitting a fully completed technical proposals, a partial proposal is submitted. The methodology and the technical specification will be included, but not to the fullest extent. So this will allow the room for even more customizations and discussion. Once the highest qualified bidder is selected, they will be invited to submit a thorough technical proposal along with a financial proposal. The technical proposal will be evaluated, and only then will the financial proposal will be opened. The combined score of both the technical proposals and the financial proposals are the grounds on which the bidder is contacted. Then request for quotations. So here we will ask for the quotations, and the best quotation will get or will be chosen, because the quotation, like here, how we will find out the who is the best one, the people who will be able to deliver the quality product at low cost and with high speed. We will be selecting that kind of people. Then single source. So single source procurement is also a non-competitive method, because this should only be used under some specific circumstances. Like single source procurement occurs when the procuring entity intends to acquire goods or services from a uh, sole provider. So this method should undergo a strict approval process from the management before being used, because here we have to look for the circumstances which call for use of this method. The first circumstance is emergency. Second is if the only one supplier is available and qualified to fulfill the requirement. The third is if the advantages of using a certain supplier are abundantly clear. If the procurer requires a certain products or services which will be available only from one suppliers. The next can be like for the continuation of work that cannot be reproduced by any another supplier. So like these methods will help you to understand that how we can select the best supplier. Smart cards, I'm skipping this, like this is very common. All of us are using smart cards nowadays. How it works, we know that also. Then categories of a smart card. You want me to discuss this, or should I skip this also categories? Please let me know. Should I continue with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first category is contact smart card. So this type of a smart card is embedded with the electrical contacts, which are used to connect to the card reader, where the card reader is inserted. So the electrical contacts are deployed here on a conductive gold plated coating, which we have all seen on our SIM and the cards, right? So like here, the card will be inserted and the machine will contact with the server. So that way this contact smart cards are working. Then contactless smart card. So this type of smart cards establishes a connection with the card reader without any physical contact, right? Like you must have seen nowadays on ATM, if you go, you will get one option, cardless withdrawal, right? So here it consists of an antenna by means of which it is used to communicate using a radio frequency band with the antenna on the reader. So it receives the power from the reader via an electromagnetic signal. Then we have dual interface smart cards. So this type of a smart card is equipped with both contactless and contact interfaces, like we have seen. Nowadays we have this system like tap system on our smart card. So you can tap, you can insert, so contact and contactless. So this type of cards enable secure access to the smart card chip with either the contactless or contact smart card interface. Then we have memory based smart card. So this type of a smart card is embedded with memory circuits. It stores the read and write data to a particular location. It is a straight memory card that is used only used to store the data or protected memory card with restricted access to the memory, and which can be used to write data. It can also be reachable or like a disposable card which contains the memory unit that can be used only with the that can be used only if it is available, right? So here we need to have that. Then we have the microprocessor based smart cards. So this type of a smart